Tyla is colored. And some of you have an issue with that. So
yes, some of you have an issue with that. I mean, calling someone colored, mixed race, means that they have been mixed, right? But the way you define people of mixed race in America is different from the way you define people of mixed race in other parts of the world. I'll take, for instance, where I come from, we call mixed race people as métis, and métis comes from, I think, French. It's a French word for mixed race, right? And in South Africa, as we all know, they have got a history of apartheid, a history of colonial oppression, where they were segregated, the whites were segregated from the black people, and you know, all the struggle. And mixed race kids are like symbolic, that is symbol of the fact that black people were oppressed and they were forced to make babies with their oppressors. Do you get it? And these people make up 10% of the South African population. They are recognized as colored people in South Africa. Yeah. And I know that for some people, the fact that Tyla comes from Africa is a problem. Most of you have never ever left your comfort zone. Most of you have never ever traveled out of America. You just know that everything that is being defined in America and defined by Americans is the norm, is the standards for the world, for every part of the world. But shocker alert, people in other parts of the world got their own culture, they got their own beliefs, they got their own traditions, they got the way they call things, they got something different from what you have. I think this should be an opportunity for you to learn a thing or two, to learn about colored people in South Africa. I know in America, they are called mixed race. And in America, you've got the one drop rule, which means that even just one drop of black blood is black. So in America, she will be considered as a black person, but she's mixed race, right? But in South Africa, they are considered as colored people. And Tyla, for once, doesn't want to be referred to as mixed race. She referred to herself as a colored artist from South Africa. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? And there is this video going viral of an African who was born in Africa, but who migrated to America and lived in America. So she was calling out Tyla for referring to herself as colored because she is not taking into consideration the sufferings of the mixed race people, the sufferings of the black people, slavery, exploitation and all, you know. But she was being called out, you know, because black Americans have total different history from blacks from Africa. I am a black from Africa. I was born in Africa. So prior to moving abroad, I never felt racism. I just read racism in my history book. My history teacher used to talk about racism. I used to talk about slavery. That's the only place where I heard about these terms. But once I moved abroad, I started seeing racism. I started feeling racism. And for quite a long while now, I've been experiencing racism myself because it's in the system. You might meet some people, they are not racist up front, but the system is racist. The system is there to put you at the bottom of the barrel. At the bottom. That's the system, you know. And the system is discriminatory. It's racist towards people who are not the indigenous people. They are not the natives of the place. People who are not natives are being discriminated, and the people who are natives are favored, you know. So even if you meet people, some people say, I've never experienced racism. Racism is in the system. You don't need to experience it. Someone doesn't need to stand in front of you and tell you that you are this, you are that, you come from there, you look like this before you understand that racism exists. It exists in the system. So why I'm using this example is because I'm from ground zero, from Africa. I was born there. I was raised there. I only moved abroad later in my life. So I've never, ever, ever, ever heard the word racism. I never felt racism because everyone where I lived, where I grew up, where I went to school looked like me. And the only few white people I saw were people who came to Africa maybe for charitable work, for missionary work, for something else, or for tourism. Those are the few people that I saw, but they were just like dotted. You could hardly see white people. But in South Africa, it's different. It's different. South Africa, they have lived a long time. Like, they've lived for so long in a segregated community. Even though apartheid has ended, you go to South Africa, it is still segregated. You still see like the clear lines, clear boundaries, clear-cut discrimination between the poor and the rich, between the black and the white, between the colored, the white, and the blacks. So it is there. So if Tyla, for once, wants to refer to herself as colored, that's how she's been recognized in South Africa. And in South Africa, it's normal. I know that some people from America also pointed out that calling someone colored is like derogatory, and they don't use that term because in some places it's considered a bad word. But in South Africa, they are referred as colored. And it doesn't mean anything. There's no issue, no problem about referring to Tyla as colored. And as you can see, she's so cute. She's gorgeous. She's so beautiful. And she's doing her thing. She's talented. And her song, Water, is making waves. So why not just dance to the song? Just stop. You all just stop this discrimination. I don't know why you try to classify, to identify people into, you place people into boxes in order to identify them, right? You call black, white, mixed, race, or colored, or whatever. Whoever I see is Tyla, and Tyla is a star. I enjoy her music. Make me swear, make me harder, make me lose my mind, make me wara. Okay, I hope this is settled. Tyla is a colored person. She's a colored lady from South Africa. And in South Africa, colored people are a class. They've got their culture, they've got their beliefs, they've got their tradition, they've got their norms, and they are respected and identified as colored in South Africa. Officially, they are identified as colored. So, when you want to make a problem about why they are referred to as colored, or you want to call her mixed, be sure that you are calling her the right way she wants, because that's how she refers to herself. A colored artist from South Africa, not a mixed race person from America. Not everyone lives in America. Okay? Not everyone. And not everything has to be defined by the way America defines things. Okay? What do you all think about these, guys? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I've made a few mistakes, but don't pay attention to the mistakes. Get the message and stay tuned, stay freed, and until next time, see you all. Bye.